Alright, so just a quick update. I have a little bet with my friends that they don't think I can drive my car to work. I mean, I don't know if anybody lives around this area, but driving up north towards DC is pretty shitty. You know, there's tons of traffic or whatever it may be. But I definitely think the car will make it. So I'm gonna give it a shot. Tomorrow I'm gonna drive the car from my house to Springfield, which is usually some sort of traffic going either way. It's about, I think, 60 miles round trip. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour one way. And then usually on the way home, it's usually at least an hour just because of traffic or whatever is going on. So I bet two people 20 bucks. So that's 40 bucks out of my pocket or 40 bucks in my pocket, win or lose. So I got my drag radials mounted on the street tires or the street wheels. So I'm gonna mount those up. I'm actually gonna take the car and go get a haircut. It's about 20-minute drive. There shouldn't be too much traffic around the time that I'm actually going down there to get my haircut. So it should be okay. I just want to test out the car, see if there's any issues with it that I can fix before I drive it to work tomorrow. So I'll go mess with it now and put the wheels on. Alright, so I just got the wheels back on with the radials in the back. Everything looks pretty good. Let me just show you real quick. So that's the front, and then you have the rear. I think ultimately, I mean, it's going to settle a little bit more. The car's been jacked up for a while, but ultimately I want to go to a 28, so I have to re-gear and take a lot of trimming, because obviously like the 26 already is pretty damn close. But yeah, it looks good. We'll see how it rides. I need to purchase some new trim. For whatever reason I can't find the trim for the bumper here, and then the trim over here on the side I need to find also. That's been MIA probably since H2O last year. It just flew off randomly while I was driving. I turned, and whatever the skinnies, they stick out much further than the just regular old street tires. So when I was turning, it grabbed the fender, and then the trim went flying. So I'm gonna start it up. Hopefully it has enough battery. I charged it for like, I don't know, a few hours, an hour or two, whatever. And try and start it up, make sure there's nothing leaking. And then I think I need gas actually too, so I might have to go stop at a gas station on the way there and fill up, because it's probably pretty low. Alright guys, so as you can see, there's no update in between my haircut and this video. That's because yesterday I started the car and I let it run for like 2-3 minutes, and I look underneath the car and there's a puddle. Shut the car off, push it back, smell the puddle, smells like gas. I'm like, fuck. So I think one of it has like on the fuel rail, it has worm gear clamps on it. And I guess one of them just gave up, I don't know. So I have also actual fuel line clamps. So I took the worm gear clamp off, put the fuel line back on with the actual fuel line clamp, and then I'm gonna start it, and hopefully that was our leak. So after I start it, let it warm up, make sure nothing's leaking, I'll probably just go drive it, take it up one exit on the highway and take it back to make sure everything is a-okay. And then tomorrow I'll drive it to work on the way, or drive it to work. There's like a 30% chance of rain, but I have street tires on. It should be fine, even though I only have one wiper blade though. But risk it for the biscuit. Let's get this 40 bucks. Alright, so I went and drove the car. I checked, there was no more fuel leak at all. Drove the car, everything feels good. Didn't see, nothing was out of the ordinary, nothing felt funny. Besides, I got on it some. Try to see what it looks like in boost, because it's a big, much lazier turbo. And there's also 2 fuel pumps versus one before, and the base pressure is higher now. So I made a pull, and for whatever reason, First time I made a pull, it looked okay-ish. It was like mid 11, so I didn't really get into any kind of crazy boost. It was probably like 10 PSI, something like that. Then did a few more pulls, and every time I got into boost, it kept going lean. So I have to look at it. There's no way it should be going lean when it has like almost 60 PSI base pressure and 2 fuel pumps. So something else is going on. So I have to look at that soon. But it's good enough right now to drive it to and from work. I'll just try and avoid getting on it, hopefully. But I'm gonna go ahead and wash it. I haven't washed it since probably H2O, I think, which was, I don't know, forever ago, back in September. So it was a while ago. So I'm gonna move the car up to the house and the power wash and everything and get it all set up and start washing the car. Alright, so long story short, I'm at work with the car, made it, a lot of different vibrations, the diff screams. This is the stupidest idea ever. It's not worth the 40 bucks to drive this thing up here. I like, you know, cruising at 70 miles an hour between the diff, the car, everything's screaming. I have like this big fancy JBL boombox speaker, and I couldn't even hear the speaker. That's how loud it was. It was fucking awful. So now I just can't wait to get off and take it home and just never bring it to work again. That was the worst drive ever. We'll just leave it for cruising, or cruising at H2O, or at cruising whatever, but goddamn, no highway. That was awful. But so far, half of the bet is won, and then the other half is later today. Alright guys, it's now time to travel home. There for sure is some traffic build up, so hopefully we'll do okay. I know it's gonna get hot as fuck in here though with the trans and everything, but we should be alright. So let's see how it goes. Alright, so as you can see, Old Faithful here, she made it back in one piece. Never had a doubt that we weren't gonna make it. The ride home wasn't as bad as the ride there because I had the windows down, so it wasn't as, I guess, I don't know, holding all the sound inside the car as much. It wasn't as bad, but I'll still never probably drive it to work again because the highway is just a lot of RPMs, diff screaming. It's just not that fun. So I'm gonna mess with the car now, make sure and play with the boost on the tune, see if I can figure out how to make this CO2 stuff work. I just did like a pull on the way back here and made like 10-11 PSI, which I mean probably isn't that much, so didn't really feel that fast. So I'm gonna try and hook up the CO2, hook up the computer, see if I can figure out the boost, and then we'll go from there.